Welcome to the Vibe Living Podcast, a podcast that talks about topics for women over 40. You know, that time of your life that many call midlife. That time of life when you can really vibe, be vibrant, intuitive, beautiful, and emerge. Join me, Linus Woods Mullins, certified holistic living and wellness expert for women over 40, as I talk about a variety of topics that address the wellness of the mind, body, and spirit for women over 40. Remember, midlife doesn't mean no life. Midlife is an opportunity to increase your self love, your self care, and your self worth. It's your time to be vibrant, intuitive, beautiful, and emerged. It's your time to vibe. So come on, let's vibe. Welcome to Vibe Living. My name is Linus Woods Mullins, and I'm a holistic living and wellness expert for women over 40 and all the people who love them. For the last 10 years, I have been working with women through my coaching services, webinars, online classes, retreats, books, my e-magazines, newsletters, blogs, and podcasts to help them to be well in their mind, body, and spirit. It has been the most wonderful experience of my life. These last 10 years, oh my God, they have been so awesome. And I feel truly blessed to be doing something that I'm passionate about. You see, I am passionate about sending a message of wellness that resonates and empowers and motivates women to move forward in their lives with enhanced enthusiasm as they age. It's hard to be excited about aging when you're feeling low energy, depressed, anxious, hormonal, frustrated, unfocused, feeling unloved, and basically all the other stuff that can come to us after 40. But here's the good news. The good news is that you don't have to feel or live like this. There are things that you can do that impact your wellness in a positive way and help you to age not just gracefully, but to help you to age in a way that raises your vibration and encourages you to try new ways of being. And most importantly, aging in a way that every day you are living life to its fullest. So I decided to call this podcast Vibe Living because of an epiphany I had. You see, for 9 years, I had a podcast called The Wellness Journey, and I must have done hundreds of interviews during those 9 years. I mean, I interviewed some amazing people, and I learned so much about wellness of the mind, body, and spirit. It was a fantastic experience, and I am so proud of all the shows that we did, and I'm very grateful to the hundreds of guests who gave their time and expertise so willingly while they were on the show. Well, I digressed, but I wanted to kind of give you that background in terms of what I've done when it comes to podcasts. Well, about 6 months ago, I was on one of my walks. I like to go on long walks on Saturdays. I go like anywhere from 5 to 7 miles. Sometimes I walk back, that would be 10 miles, but more than likely I go one way, 5 to 7 miles, then I catch the Uber back. But on one of those Saturday morning long walks, I had a very clear voice said to me, Lennis, it's time to hang it up and put the wellness journey on a long hiatus. The minute I heard that voice, I knew that it was time. So I did my last broadcast or my last podcast about maybe 7 months ago. And I thought, well, that's it. No more podcasting. Well, about a month later, on another one of those long walks on a Saturday, that same voice came again. And it was loud and strong. It told me, Linus, I didn't say no podcast at all. You still have much that you need to say. I thought to myself, could this be true? It was an amazing experience. I loved doing it. But one thing I had not done was to spend some time sharing some of my innermost thoughts about my own wellness and my own journey and my own experiences and how I have come to believe that midlife wellness leads you to some of the best experiences of your life. So I started thinking about how I've learned to increase my vibrations and how I've learned to be more positive and to create that positive bubble that I talk about, and how I learned to use affirmations and meditation and prayer, tapping, yoga, aromatherapy, fitness, and all these other holistic practices and all this other information that I've gleaned over the last 10 years. How I've taken all of this and how it has contributed to teaching me on how to increase my positive vibes. I have never experienced in the last few years in particular so much positive feedback since I started this journey on positive living. I have always attributed people's positive reactions to me as a result of the inner joy that I have developed over the last 10 years that is now radiating outward. And as I learn more and more about raising my vibrations, I have learned more and more about that positive vibe and how it can really change your life. And there it was, that vibe word again. And I thought, what does it really mean to vibe? If I were to describe this feeling, what would I say? And I'm not kidding. Immediately, these words came to me: vibrant, intuitive, beautiful, and emerged. Within an instance, I thought, well, who wouldn't want to vibe? I mean, if you take the first letter out of each one of those words, vibrant, intuitive, beautiful, and emerged, it spells vibe. And who wouldn't want to be more vibrant, more intuitive, more beautiful? I'm not talking about the outer beauty. I'm talking about that inner beauty that wants to, that needs to radiate out and emerged. The more I thought about it, the more I realized that I wanted to explore this more. And I wanted to talk about how to vibe and talk about why it was important to vibe. Hence, the Vibe Living podcast and my very first episode that I'm doing for you today. This podcast is designed to help you vibe, to help you find ways to increase your vibrancy, ways to enhance your intuitions, and ways to bring out that inner beauty that you all have. Every single one of you have this inner beauty that wants to radiate out. And let me tell you something about that inner beauty for a minute. When I was talking about the positive feedback that I get, and this is kind of funny, and this is no brag, this is what happens to me. Ever since I turned about maybe 60, 61, there's not a day that goes by that somebody doesn't come up to me and compliment me on my hair or the head wraps that I wear or the clothes that I have on. And I'm telling you, I'm not really necessarily spending a lot of time trying to look a certain way. I put the head wrap on because I don't feel like doing my hair. That's why I do that. And I guess some people like the look. And many times the clothes that I wear is because it's what's comfortable. I let go of all the suits and everything else that came to corporate America. But mostly, I think the reason why people are giving me this kind of feedback isn't so much about the way I look on the outside, it's what's inside that's radiating out. I am living a life that has joy most days. And maybe part of it is because I am doing something I'm passionate about. But the other part is that I work on it. I work on being joyful. I work on using all those different tools. And that's what I want to talk to you about. So, that inner beauty that you have, as you begin to have more and more joy, that inner beauty is just going to radiate out. And I'm telling you, people are going to be stopping you, asking, they're telling you how beautiful you are. And you're going to know it's just the joy that I have within. I want to be able for you to take all those components, that vibrancy that you're going to have, that your intuitions and that inner beauty, and bring them all together. So these components together, so it can help you to emerge into a really awesome woman in midlife. I tell you, there is no more beautiful of a woman who's in their 40s, 50s, and 60s who's feeling themselves. You know what I mean? They feel good about themselves. They love themselves. They know they're not perfect. They're a work in progress, and that's okay. That's where I would love for all of you to be and to stay with me in this vibe. I'm so excited about this because I want to share time with you and to share my thoughts as well. I mean, occasionally we will have a guest, but more than likely it will be me just talking about that inner voice that tells me what it is I need to say. Now, there are going to be three segments of the Vibe Living podcast. There's Body Bella, which is all about sharing thoughts and information about how to love our bodies more by taking better care of them. Yes, we're going to be talking about nutrition, but we're also going to be talking about herbs and teas and do it yourself recipes you can make at home to help your bodies to be healthier, in terms of what you put in the bodies and what you put on the bodies. We're going to cover a lot of topics in the Body Bella segment. Also, we have another segment called Mind Moves. And that segment is all about sharing your thoughts and information about how to improve our focus, our clarity, and to increase our brain health as we age. I hear a lot of my clients talk about brain fog, about the lack of clarity and focus, about losing our mojo sometimes. And at this stage in our life, we need to have our mojo so that we can do all the other things that we really are passionate about and want to do. The other part of the broadcast is going to be called Spiritual Spice. Spiritual Spice is all about how to increase our inner voice and that spiritual side of us that we all have and really want to activate more of as we age. And by spiritual inner voice, for me, it's the Holy Spirit because I'm a Christian. But this is not necessarily a Christian broadcast. This is a faith-based broadcast, absolutely, because we're going to be talking about ways to increase our faith and our trust in that supreme power, whatever it is that you call it. That's between you and your supreme power or pet rock or whatever it is. I really don't get into that piece. That's not where God has led me. But he has led me to talk about ways that we can increase that voice that he's placed within all of us so that we can make better decisions, so that we can live a life that is fuller and that really brings us joy. Now, I hope this podcast will be a blessing to you as much as it is for me to produce it. I certainly do not know it all. I don't mean to paint that picture. I am a work in progress and I have a whole heck of a lot to learn. My life is not perfect. I mean, as right now, as we go through this podcast, I'm getting ready to go through a lifestyle change that I'm not too excited about. But when life brings you lemons, you do lemonade. And so that's what I've learned to do. And I've learned to drink it and enjoy it. So I really hope that I learn as much from you in the comments that you place on the podcast as you learn from me. And I encourage you to share the podcast, to comment on the podcast, and to email me directly your thoughts and ideas for future podcast episodes. Thank you so much for joining me on this newest journey. I am really excited about what it is that God is going to do and the ideas he's going to give me and the downloads. I'll be going on a lot more walks to see what comes out. And I pray that you will vibe with me and keep coming back as we embark on this new wellness journey of self-discovery, self-love, and self-care of our mind, body, and spirit. So come on, vibe with me and come back again. This is Lennis Woods Mullins, and I am a holistic living, wellness, and living expert for women over 40. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you again next time. Thank you for listening to the Vibe Living Podcast. Please feel free to download, rate, share, and like the show. To find out more about living a Vibe life, go to my website at wellnesswoman40.com or email me at vibelivingpodcast@gmail.com. Have a fantastic day, and don't forget to vibe.